I wanted to meet someone in public, okay? I tried. I don't get approached. I don't get asked out on dates, okay?
Dating in your 30s is no joke. I am exhausted after work.
Look, I'm single and I'm 30, and you have to settle down before you turn 30. You have to. You have to. Look, I'm single and I'm...
Modern women painted their own paths, and now they're regretting it. The blame is on them.
I'm 31. I'm actively, desperately trying to find my person.
I think the biggest problem with modern dating is that everyone thinks they have way more options than they already do.
I'm single and childless in my mid-30s, and we all know that dating apps suck and make dating so much harder than it used to be. But I think in addition to that...
They wouldn't be in this predicament if they had listened. The struggle goes on, I guess. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
What is up with a man asking you on a date to ghost you the date?
I cannot believe I used to hate men. I swear off men. I said, I'll never date another man again.
A message for ladies in their 20s from a woman in her 30s. Your 30s are the same as your 20s.
That's enough! Look, I'm single and I'm 30, and you have to settle down before you turn 30. You have to. You have to. I'm not saying this because I think you have to adhere to societal norms. I am telling you that at 30, you will have one night in you. You will not want to leave your bed ever. I'm not going to find the man of my dreams sitting in bed all day, but it is all I want to do. My bed is everything to me. Bedtime is the best time. So if you don't want to die alone. No, I'm being an idiot. No, you don't have to find anybody before then. I'm just letting you know that I'm sitting here how am I going to meet anyone if I'm glued to my bed? Is there anybody whose type is bed sores and gummy worms? Because that's where I'm at.
I mean, she's not wrong. Women who are in their 30s, stuck in their ways, need to find a man if that's their goal. Because what ends up happening is that they get too comfortable, never leaving the house, and just let time go by hoping a man comes landing on their door. Like many of them want a man, but they also don't want to put in the work to get one. They expect a man to just appear, to be interested, and to meet all their standards without them stepping out of their comfort zone. These types of women usually wake up eventually, and dating gets even harder for them. By that point, the men they might have attracted in their 20s are already in relationships or married, and the dating pool shrinks every year. Meanwhile, their expectations don't always change. They still want a man who meets certain standards, but the options just aren't there anymore. What ends up happening is desperation can set in, and desperation is visible to men. It pushes quality men away.
I'm about to go on a second date. I haven't been going on dates since January, and before that, couldn't tell you when the last time I went on a date was. But I'm really excited for this. But dating in your 30s is no joke. I am exhausted after work. Don't feel like getting ready. I work remote, so that's just tough in general to get myself motivated to want to get ready to go out. But got to get back out there, and hopefully I fall in love.
I think the biggest problem with modern dating is that everyone thinks they have way more options than they already do, but then also everyone's looking for this perfect person, and the more people you meet, the less likely you are to be blown away by somebody. Because by and large, the pool of the people you've met is so much larger that you're going to find less people who are so unique and feel right for you. And then you're also going to have changed as a person by the time you've dated everybody. So then you're virtually never going to make a decision. I feel like that's so hard.
Whenever you're dealing with a man, please keep in mind if they want to play, they have to pay.
There's actually a word for that, and it's not dating.
And if they're low on funds, they can't have no fun.
Let's think about this. What exactly is the term for charging someone for certain activities? I'm sure if we think about it really hard, we can all think of it.
Stop being so nice to them. They are not nice people. They're only being nice so that they can gain access to you and your holes.
Oh, how classy. Almost as classy as charging men for access.
They are the fakest creatures on this earth. They are liars. They are manipulators. It's literally encoded in their DNA.
Encoded in their DNA. Is it now? Just a question. They still teach biology in school, right? Has that turned into a class that individuals don't have to pass to graduate?
And please just keep in mind whenever you're dealing with them that you are in there to get something out of the deal, because I guarantee you they are not leaving empty-handed.
Ever wonder why so many guys choose to remain single? Well, it's because a lot of women actually agree with these types of statements.
There's nothing shocking about this, really. Many modern women today are pretty vocal about charging men for their time, if you know what I mean. For her to say if men want to play, they have to pay, just proves the mentality a lot of guys are walking away from. It's transactional. It's entitlement, wrapped in standards. They treat their time like a product and men like customers. Then wonder why dating feels impossible. She's basically admitting her presence is for sale, and then she'll turn around and complain that men aren't approaching, aren't committing, aren't taking them seriously. And the craziest part is, these same women will say they want a real connection, a serious relationship, and a good man, while openly saying men must pay to be around them. This kind of mentality comes from broken women who embedded the world's oldest profession in their DNA, because somewhere along the line they convinced themselves that their value only exists when a man is paying for something. That's not confidence, that's survival mode disguised as empowerment.
I literally go through the biggest struggle in life regarding relationships, obsessed with my career and also wanting to date. I try to not date and just focus on my career. I get kind of lonely, and honestly, like, I love and I love that experience. But then the second I start forming a connection with somebody, I push them away. Because naturally you have to make time for the person that you're seeing, but that time directly encroaches on like my work, because my work is nonstop. I'm a music artist and a social media content creator. I start to get irritated and feel like they're being clingy by just asking to hang out. I gotta figure this out, guys.
All right, ladies, help me out. Where are we meeting quality men in 2025? If I'm not using dating apps and I'm not going to bars or clubs, where are we meeting them? Are we looking confused in Home Depot? Help me out, please.
Where are we actually meeting men? Like, genuine question, where are you meeting them? Because I work from home, so there's absolutely no chance I'd meet someone at work. And the gym is just categorically off the tables, because I've been there, I've done that before, I'm never doing it again. And if you ever catch me dating a man from the gym again, please just take my membership away, because I should not be allowed anywhere near a gym in that case. Going to the shops, the state I go into the shops in, I don't even think they should allow me to enter the shops. So it's not like I'm going to magically bump into a man on the street. So where exactly are we meeting men? And please don't say dating websites, because I've given them a go before and it just does not work. It really gives me the ick of like meeting up with someone from a dating website. I don't know what it is. It's just like, why am I on this and why are you on this at the same time? Which I know people meet the love of their lives on dating websites. I know, and I get it, but I just want to meet him organically. You know, we bump into each other, we fall in love, and I fear that I might just be deluding myself into thinking this is going to happen.
It's only gonna get harder for women to meet men, because all these places that men and women use to interact, they've told men to not approach them, especially the gym and coffee shops. I believe what's happening now is they're avoiding each other, but it's 100% harder for a man to meet a woman nowadays. You hear women asking every day, where are we meeting men, day in and day out, because it's truly harder now to find good men. And to be honest, the solution is very simple. It's just to meet up in real life. No dating apps. But at the same time, it's also a risk for men. Men are cautious because even if their intentions are genuine, all it takes is one wrong look or one woman feeling uncomfortable, and suddenly his reputation is on the line. That risk has made a lot of men decide it's just not worth it anymore. The irony is, women say they want to meet good men, but they've created an environment where those same men don't feel safe approaching.
I'm 31. I'm actively, desperately trying to find my person. I have no shame in admitting this. I know a lot of people try to act all calm, cool, and collected about this shit, but not me. I'm not that person. Because if you were honest with yourself about the options out here, you would also be nervous. And like, here's the thing. We all saw me on the show talk about how I felt pressure as a 31-year-old and everyone lost their shit. But like, I'm struggling for a man to even commit to a date out here, let alone marriage. So I'm not hopeful.
I'm just going to be real with you right now. Dating gets worse in your 30s. It gets worse in your 30s. Oh, I don't know what is going on in the air. I don't know if it's 2025. I don't know what is up, but dating is horrible. The qualities in men right now are horrible. I would rather be alone than settle for a man right now, because anybody I've met sucks. Like, sucks. They either are like really good on paper and horrible in person, or like, I don't even know. Like, honestly, I've been hit with so many curveballs, like in the past couple years turning 30. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like in my 20s, I feel like I met like a better selection. But maybe when you get to this age, a lot of people start showing their true colors. I have no idea. But yeah, I'd rather be alone than settle for some of these people. I'd rather be at home with my dogs and no drama than some of these selections out here. But yeah, dating has been probably the worst dating I've ever had has been in my 30s. And that sucks to say, but we're going to keep our hopes up that it gets better. If not, you're going to find me on The Golden Bachelor. Like, Lord have mercy.
As she mentioned, in her 20s she found a better selection of men. But guess what? She didn't choose any of them to build with. But now in her 30s, she's saying the qualities of men are bad. She's complaining how hard it is. But the truth is, the problem isn't the men, it's the timing. When she had options, she ignored the serious guys and chased the excitement. She treated good men like a backup plan, assuming they would always be around. Now the dating pool feels worse, not because men changed, but because her leverage changed. In her 20s, she was the one doing the choosing. In her 30s, she's hoping to be chosen. And instead of admitting she wasted her prime years on the wrong men, she shifts the blame onto today's men, calling them low quality, immature, not serious, when really the serious men were there years ago. She just didn't want them at the time. This is why so many women hit their 30s and suddenly wake up. They start realizing the consequences of their earlier choices.
31, I'm single, and I'm not even a little bit chill about it. I used to think I had to act cool when I was ghosted or if somebody wasn't interested, while all my friends just passed me by with their relationships. But I'm at a stage in my life now where I can enjoy the chaos and share it with you all. So I'm fully aware that in your late 20s, your 30s, dating can be both lonely, empowering, and most of all, hilarious. The stories I have to share, I share them with my friends, and it's just not enough. I need to get on here and share them with people that are going through the same thing as me. So by day, I work full time, and at night, I actually host singles events. And the saddest part about it is I still come home to my dog and eat pasta. Dating, it's real.
I had no clue why women complain about being single in their late 20s or early 30s or after that, whatever, because it's literally so easy. We know exactly what we want at this age. The men don't. That's what makes it difficult. But we know what we want. So it's easy. We just wait for the perfect man to show up. Right? It's easy in the sense of we know what we want, so we can just pick and choose who we talk to because we know what we want out of them. Whereas in our early 20s, it was difficult because it was like, I like all of you. Who do I talk to? But now most of us are like, I don't like any of you. I don't like any of you. So it's a 50-50, you know? It's a good time.
Actually, men do know what they want at 30. That's why many of them aren't dating, because they don't want to be in relationships that drain them or aren't worth their time. It always fascinates me when women say, we know what we want at this age, but these men don't, when in reality, what men want is to keep their sanity and avoid unnecessary drama. And why is it that women at 30 all of a sudden know what they want? Is that the age for clarity? Or is it pressure from society and life experiences finally catching up with them? By 30, women often start setting boundaries and defining exactly what they're looking for, while men are quietly deciding what's worth their energy. And sometimes the answer is nothing that isn't simple and peaceful. It's an interesting contrast. Women claim clarity as action. They now know what to pursue, while men claim clarity as avoidance. They know what to skip. And maybe that's why so many men at 30 are single. Not because they're lost, but because they already know.
Men, stop taking care of these ungrateful women. If they can't give you what you need to cut them off. You need to block them. You need to find you another one that's going to love you, give you what you need, all the mental and physical loving that you need, and that's going to cook for you, and that's going to love on you and be polite to you and treat you like a king that you are. A lot of these women are delusional. They think that you are supposed to pay everything for them, take care of their kids, do everything for them. No. Stop doing for these ungrateful women that don't love you. It don't matter how good that she thinks she doing for you. Her attitude messed up and she can't respect you, especially when you bringing paper in the house and you got everything on your own. You better listen to me. Stop allowing these women to mistreat you, abuse you, and use you. You a king. You better than that. Right hand of God.
I love a man who can fix a car and build a house, that is my type. Tell me if you girls can relate, but nothing makes me want a man more than when I'm having car problems. No, but seriously, all of a sudden all of my standards and things I'm picky about go out the window, and I just need a man, and I need him in that moment, So yesterday I was driving home from dinner, got a flat tire, so I'm stuck on the side of the road. All of a sudden, I'm like, who can I text? I'm thinking about that situationship I had 7 years ago that I forgot existed. What? I'm like, any man will do. I don't care who, I don't care details. We just need to make it work, because car issues are a blue job. And as a woman, I have no desire to use that part of my brain. Will I be driving a car for the rest of my life? Probably. Do I want to learn anything about cars other than the ability to drive? Absolutely not. That's a man's job. I said what I said. So now I need to go to the tire shop, have them put on tire on my car, and I'm not very happy about that. Any guys out there know how to fix cars, put on a tire? I'm single.
These women are red flags, and I'll tell you why. And it's something I've mentioned before. Any woman who desires a man when she's having issue in her life, and in this woman's case, car problem, she doesn't really like you, she likes your services and your ability to fix her problems. And that right there is the most dangerous kind of interest a man can ever receive. Because she's not choosing you, she's choosing what you can provide in that moment. If she didn't need help, she wouldn't even be looking in your direction. This is survival-based attraction, not genuine attraction, and these women always expose themselves. Notice they never show interest when things are going well for them. They show interest when they're in crisis, when they're stressed, when they need a wallet, a mechanic, a handyman, a therapist, or a financial bailout. Suddenly they become friendly, soft, interested. That's not romance. That's opportunistic behavior.
So as some of you know now, I'm single, not ready to start dating. But I was just thinking that when I did, I'm the worst person to go on a date with. Oh, you want to go on a hike? No. Absolutely not. Oh, you want to go check out this farm? Oh, no. No, I don't like barn animals. Ugh. Do you want to go to a pumpkin patch? Absolutely not. I don't want to go apple picking. I don't want to go to a pumpkin patch. I don't want to do any of that. Okay. I want to go on vacation, but I want my own hotel room. And that's the only date I want to go on.
You need help. This is a good example of why I would not approach or pursue a man. My guy friend just told me about this date that he went on last week. He initiated conversation with her first, but he did not ask for her number. And then she came back around to him later in the night and came up to him and asked for his number. He was interested, so he gave his number. They started texting to set up a date. She lives almost 2 hours from him, and he was not able to drive down to her that week. So she drove 2 hours to go on a date with him. I would never, ever do that. The man should be the one making the effort and coming to you, especially for the first date. No shade to my guy friend. Men just don't consciously think about it like this. During the first date and by the end of the date, he already knew that he was not feeling it. He'd rather just be friendly with her rather than anything romantic. So yeah, a man's level of interest is always shown in his effort and his actions. It's not like he wasn't interested in going on a date, but if he was really interested in her, he would have asked for her number. He would have driven to see her. You know what I'm saying? Like, their interest is always reflected in their effort.
This makes no sense at all. There are no rules to pursue who you want, man or woman. Yeah, she asked for the number and she drove to go see him, and eventually he wasn't interested. But that's just modern dating. She just got friend-zoned. And that happens to so many men out here as well, who put in the work and pursue a woman. The reality is, if you want something in life, you need to try and go get it. The thing is, women who says, I would never do that. A man should do that instead. They think they're special. They believe that a man should jump through hoops to get them. But the truth is, entitlement like that only pushes good men away because men have options too. Men don't want to deal with someone who thinks they're the prize without bringing anything to the table. Effort has to be on both sides. Because if one person is always doing the chasing and the other is just sitting back, waiting to be pursued, it creates an imbalance that usually doesn't last. And the reality is, women break rules for guys they want and have rules for guys they want working for it.
This is why women come back after leaving.
You think us men don't know why you come back, ladies? Y'all go out there on social media, y'all put all these pictures and videos, and y'all use all these filters, and then you got all these guys in your DMs telling you how great you are. Then you look over at your guy at the couch playing a game. You're like, I could do better than him. Look at my inbox. All these guys are hot. Start watching your videos, and you're like, you know, I really am beautiful. I can do better than this. Ladies, I put that bold glamour filter on my pug and turned her into a fucking show dog. And you ladies get these guys in your DMs are like, girl, if you leave him, I'll treat you like a queen. He ain't doing you right, girl. I don't even play games on the TV. I'll get out your pen and paper, start running the numbers on what you make, and then you start looking for places, and you're like, you know, if I just eat ramen noodle soup every day, I could afford this. It's always the same song and dance. Y'all leave, and the guys in your DMs, all they wanted to do was bang you, because once they actually meet you, they're like, you don't look nothing like you do in those videos and pictures. Then you do get you a place, and it only takes about 1 month of eating ramen noodle soup every day, and you're like, well, I'll just go live with my mom and save money. Well, you hated living with her when you were a kid, and you hate living with her now, so it only leaves one option, right, ladies? Ladies come crawling back to us, and you use your manipulation tactics. You're like, you know, I had men falling at my feet, and I was happy, and I could make it on my own, but all I could think about was you and what we had. I miss you so much.
Honestly, it's kind of scary to see there's so many people out there who are willing to settle or lower their standards for anyone that would give them attention. I'm in my late 20s, I'm 28, and I look around my friend group. I feel like a lot of them settled because they are afraid of being alone. I mean, it's totally valid to feel lonely, especially if you live in a bigger city like LA or New York. It's just hard to form genuine connections with people. But I'd much rather staying single and being alone than settling for someone just for the sake of being in a relationship or getting married or having kids. And what if I settle now and I'm going to be regretting 10 years later and ended up getting a divorce? I do not want that. That sounds so messy. I do not want to get myself involved in that. So it's either I'm going to be able to find my special someone, or I'm just going to be ended up staying single and being by myself, and I'm fine with that.
So, the only single woman in her friend group feels like her friends settle. Where haven't we heard that before? The thing is with these types, they have a fantasy stuck in their imagination, believing that they will have the perfect match. But what they don't understand is that everyone settles at some point, not in a negative way, but in a realistic, mature way. Nobody gets 100% of everything they dreamt up in their teens. Life doesn't hand you a flawless partner crafted from your imagination. These women cling to this Disney movie-level expectation, thinking Prince Charming will walk in with perfect looks, perfect money, perfect personality, perfect lifestyle. And because they're stuck on that fantasy, they can't even see a good man right in front of them. They think choosing a real human partner instead of their imaginary ideal man means settling. Meanwhile, the truth is ironic. She's the only one who wasn't chosen by anyone in her friend group.
The longer that I go being single, the more and more my brain tries to trick me into being okay with the possibility of being single for possibly my entire life. And I know ultimately at the end of the day,
I would have to be okay with it because like I'm not just going to stop living my life because I don't have a partner. But it's really frustrating because I simultaneously really do strive to get into a loving, healthy, lifelong relationship, hopefully. And I feel like recently I have been trying to tell myself and gaslight myself into thinking that I don't want certain things that I know deep, deep down I really want and that I've wanted since I was like a little girl. And like I said, the more and more time that passes that I'm not getting anywhere near like being in a long-term relationship, I feel like I'm almost speaking to that inner child version of myself and trying to tell her like, hey, all of these things that you want, all of these things that you have dreamed of, they're probably not going to happen. So you better start expecting lifelong singleness. And I hate that that's where my mind's going because like that's not who I am majority of the time. Like majority of the time I do live in this mentality like, okay, one day I'll meet someone. But I don't know, recently things have been shifting within me and I catch myself thinking certain things and I'm like, where did that come from? Because I do not recognize these thoughts. And like I said, it's almost as though my mind is trying to prepare me for this possibility of being single forever, which I know, like, I'm only 30 years old and obviously I can't predict the future, but things are not progressing anywhere and they haven't for a very, very long time. And so it's hard for me to logically understand that like anything can happen at any moment. But again, at the same time, I feel like that cynical side of me, that side of me that is fearful, is trying to prepare me and protect me and be like, hey, you really need to start accepting that things might not go the way that you want. And like I said, I don't want to live this way. Like I don't want to live with the assumption that I'm never going to find someone because like realistically, there are so many people in the world and I have no idea where I'm going to end up. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. I so badly want to believe 100% like I'll find someone. It doesn't matter when, how, where, but I'm just finding that more recently, I'm more on the side of like, yeah, you're probably never going to find someone. And I hate it. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, is this something that everyone experiences who has been single for a long time? Is this what happens the longer you are single? Because I know regardless at the end of the day, with whichever option ends up happening, I will be okay. Like, you best believe I'm going to still live the most full and exciting life as I can. But I think ultimately, my biggest fear is that I will not be able to fulfill that one dream that little Lex has had. And it makes me sad that I might let her down.
The thing is, women wouldn't have to worry about getting to this point where they're worried about being single forever if they'd taken dating and finding a man seriously. This always happens to older women. As soon as she's in her 30s, the panic kicks in. The reason why she's worried about how she can't find a man is because a lot of these women in their 30s are set in their ways and refuse to change. Most of these women get stuck in their habits, their routines, their independence, their pride, and their "I don't need a man" mindset. And when you're that set in your ways, it becomes almost impossible to compromise, to adapt, or to build with someone. Relationships require flexibility, and many of them lost that years ago.
I cannot believe I used to hate men. I swore off men. I said, I'll never date another man again. And now I just baked a man a heart-shaped strawberry cake just because he had a really hard week at work. Like, he is my little angel baby. I will cut every single strawberry into a heart for him if he really wanted to. Oh, I love him so bad.
That is the kind of love that every man dreams of. Tell me I'm wrong.
So another major problem I have with dating is I'm at the age now where I'm very intentional with my dating. I don't want to just date to date. I'm busy. I'm running a company. I don't have time to just small talk, right? So unless somebody really piques my interest, I'm not going to put forth like energy and effort and time into starting a conversation. And it's like, okay, even if you do spark my interest, like I'm very much of a vibe person, like your personality is going to make or break whether or not I think you're attractive, because like a good looking person's a good looking person, but it's your personality is if, you know, I'm going to like you or not. So you really can't always tell a person's personality or what they're truly like on social media. So that's another big problem that I have with dating. I don't give really anybody the time of day because I just assume, I'm probably not going to like them anyway. They probably suck. They probably aren't into health and fitness like I am. They probably can't keep up with me. They probably aren't mature enough for me. Like, whatever. I go through all these things in my mind of like reasons of why I can't be bothered. Big problem.
This is why it's important to listen when women say things like, "I'm at the age now where I'm very intentional with my dating." What does that really mean? The very reason she's struggling to date now is because she wasn't intentional back then. If she had been as clear and deliberate about her choices in her 20s as she claims to be now, she wouldn't be facing all these issues in her 30s. Intentionality isn't something you suddenly turn on, it's something you build over time. Waiting until 30 to figure it out often means dealing with the consequences of earlier choices, missed opportunities, poor decisions, and a dating pool that has shifted. Many men at 30 don't struggle because they weren't intentional. They struggled, learned, and now know what's worth their time. Women often catch up later, but by then, the landscape is different, and the cost of figuring it out late can be high.
Reasons why men are single, still single, after the age of 30. Listen, if he is still single after 30, there is a freaking reason. Probably not because he's just picky. For one, he wants a girlfriend. He does. He wants a girlfriend, but he does not want to put in any of the effort to do so. Or God forbid he needs to delete the roster. Number two, which is a giant piss off, he thinks therapy is for the weak, but his communication is absolute shit. Like, sir, if anyone needs therapy, it's you. Number three, he's chasing 22-year-olds or 20-year-olds. Or 21-year-olds. Baby girl, he is the problem. But not least, he almost dated someone amazing. Now, he either f***ed it up, her over, or just wasn't ready at the time, then now he's freaking scared to try with any other amazing girl. Ladies, please send this to a man if he needs to see it. And fellas, if this hurt your feelings, it was probably meant for you.
Oh man, what's going on here too with the lips? Oof. God, these women with the injectables, they're looking like freaks. Come on. Okay, so let's title this section, Women Don't Understand Men One Little Tiny Bit. Okay, what if, honey, I have another. First of all, imagine if we flipped this. And imagine if we had this video and it was like, why are women still single after 30? And then a whole bunch of reasons why. Well, what would happen? Well, I can tell you, you get banned on TikTok because it happened to me, right? So you can't do this video the other way because you get banned, right? Okay, honey, sweet doll, sugar plum. All right, so what if the guy is 31 and has been working on himself, his business? What if he's been busy making money? What if he owns a home? What if he's got his finances in order? What if he looks great? He's been working out, eats right, takes care of himself, gets that good quality sleep, exercise, all that stuff. What if he's been doing all of that so that at the very young age of 31, he is now a magnet for all the right women?
Yeah, with these women, you will never hear any good reasons why a man is still single at 30. Something has got to be wrong with him. It just has to be, because that's how they process it. Like we see many men today saying, "I value myself, and relationships have to be worth it." And many of them are right about that, because modern women are often focused on drama, games, and entitlement, rather than building a meaningful connection. So it's no surprise a large group of men are just looking the other way, staying out of the dating pool entirely. They've learned that most interactions are exhausting, filled with unrealistic expectations, and rarely lead to something real. Why waste time chasing someone who won't appreciate their effort or match their values? Meanwhile, women at 30 often act like they've suddenly figured it out and demanding clarity.
I'm single and almost 30, and I no longer call it going out when going to a club or bar. I call it going to work. I'm not listening to music, I'm listening to my ovaries.
This video's for all my girlies who are in their 30s and single. In case you haven't heard it today. Good job! Good job not settling. Good job not settling for the almost but not right guy. Good job not settling for the narcissistic guy. Good job not settling for the guy who looked amazing to everyone and you saw a whole nother side. Good job for not settling for the one who cheated on you. Good job for not settling when it would have derailed your destiny. It's better to be single and praying for a godly marriage than to be wishing you didn't get married.
Our generation has become so sick. We have turned
the most beautiful thing, finding a partner, into something so ugly that we now think you can form a deep, genuine connection with anyone. There are billions of people in this world. You can always find someone hotter, smarter, richer, better body, taller, more fit, whatever you're looking for, younger. But you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find that connection that you built with someone special. You're not going to find that in everyone. And that's what we are taking for granted in today's dating world. Just because you see a hotter person pop up on your screen. Building a connection is saying, hey, I love what I have with this person. I'm going to make it work. And I don't care who comes by. They're not going to interrupt this bond because this bond is special and bonds cannot be replaced. So yes, you can replace the physical body. You can replace something better looking, but you cannot replace the soul connection that you have. And some of you need to just sleep on that. That's all.
There is a lot of issues in modern dating. Both men and women take some level of blame. But when we really look at it, women take on the majority of the blame. Feminism, the Me Too, even now, they have a magazine talking about how it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend, and that right there shows you how far off the rails things have gone. Modern dating didn't collapse by accident. It collapsed because the loudest voices told women that men are optional, relationships are a burden, and independence means pushing men away. Look at the messaging. You don't need a man. Relationships hold you back. Build your career first. Have fun in your 20s. Men are the problem. And then when they hit their 30s, suddenly it's, where are all the good men? It's the same cycle over and over again. Society spent an entire decade telling women that commitment is embarrassing, that being a girlfriend is a downgrade, that having a man who loves you is somehow weak. They made femininity a joke. They made healthy relationships uncool. They made bitterness a personality.